Hello and welcome back to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast. My name is Julie Wynn, and this is my little space in podcast land just to share with the intention of sharing the messy experience of life and self-reflection and healing, remembering who we are, this coming back to self over and over again, and the experience, real-time experience of what that is. It's Tuesday here as I'm recording this outside. I don't know about you, but I, for one, am getting a little like a side tilt cross-eyed with how I am receiving information lately. When I'm looking on Instagram, sometimes scrolling, and a part of me is interested in catching a golden nugget for the day. What I am noticing is how much of what we are hearing now, too, is so AI scripted. I am wanting to bring more life into my own physical being, more life and reality, and like being able to touch and experience life, not through the lens of AI, not through the lens of perfection, not through the lens of fear. So I have decided to lose my own script and return to what I am good at, which is just rambling and riffing. And I have moved my office to the great outdoors. So hopefully you can hear the cars going by and the birds chirping and the grasshoppers doing their thing, and feel with me what it's like to be in the center of life, to not have life be whizzing by us, that we can actually take in what this whole experience is about. And that's what this podcast today is about, which is getting curious about gifts. I have a friend and her son is really talented. And he posted on Instagram this morning a little snippet of a song that he's creating. And I was like, whoa, what happens if we step into our gifts? And what does that mean if we all really step into our gifts and do the thing? Do the thing. And not do the thing so we're going to get famous or get the record label or get the notoriety or become, is it viral? Is that the word? I'm aging myself here. So we can become like a viral sensation. Viral, is that the word? That feels like a disease. Anyway, you know what I'm getting at. To be famous or to get something from it. And then it was like, and what does stepping into your gifts even mean? It doesn't have to be something so profound and something that you can package. Stepping into your gifts would just be honoring. I have a gift of humor and I'm really great at making people laugh, or I have the gift of contemplation and I really do like to think deeply about the world. I have the gift of presence and I'm okay with being completely present in my day. I have the gift of creating music. I have the gift of creating really great art. I have the gift of creating movement that feels good on the body. I have the gift of bringing joy to spaces. I have the gift of showing up when people need somebody to show up. I have the gift of travel. I'm really great at traveling and I love experiencing the world. I have the gift of cooking or just simply being with people. But what is your gift? And then the other thought that I'm chewing on is, for me, especially if you've been following the Spiritual Shit Show podcast, you'll know that a lot of my own personal struggle was having my story that I was so gripped to severed, and I had the gift of floating into the ocean again and returning back to myself. And I had the gift and the opportunity, remembering who I am. And I have also been gripping onto, so what am I now? And what am I offering to the world now? And how can my gift now bring me money? I had a soul session with a creative artist last week. And one of the things that the guides brought in for this particular artist was there's actually not a lot of people at the top who are creating art, because that type of art that this particular person is creating it requires dedication. It requires you giving your full life over to being an artist, and what an honor that title is. And the artist is always creating art for the people, but nobody's creating art for the artist. And at the time, I was like, what a great message for this person. And what a great way to think about art. And then today, as I'm sitting thinking about gifts, like the gift of me right now being able to speak into this microphone to you, at the same time, I'm watching these aspen trees blow against the canvas of a really clear blue sky in August, feeling the cooling of fall coming in. What a gift. What a gift that I am here at this age, at 47, where all of my life, because my mom died early, I thought I was going to die early. What a gift it is to be alive. What a gift it is to be a mother. What a gift it is to be in this home. What a gift it is to have the luxury of being able to have a simple, slow morning on a Tuesday. What a gift. What a gift. A lot of my personal struggles and angst and frustration has, how do I show up in my gifts and make money? And after this session with this client, these pieces are coming together. I have been offering my gifts to the gods of money, and I am forgetting that every single day in my life, I am experiencing the gifts given to me by whatever it is that you want to call the great creator, source, universe, God. Whatever the title, we are all receiving the gifts because we are alive. And what a gift it is to be alive and to experience the gift of being alive, of being in love, of being in heartbreak, of being in joy and being in celebration, of being in creation, of being in loss. These are all gifts that sometimes we want to escape from. But what a gift it is to be here in this human experience. And then when we drop into that, it's like, what am I grateful for? But gratitude goes a layer deeper into, God, what a gift it is to be able to watch these trees blow, or to hear the cars drive by, or to even have this realization, or to listen to the wind blowing through the trees. What a gift. What a gift. What a gift. What a gift. And then what are these gifts that I have that I can celebrate and honor? And then when I gift it back, it's not for money. It's not for notoriety. It's not for fame. And I will say quietly on the side, then money, though, becomes the byproduct. It's the frequency of your offerings, but not your offerings to money, but offerings back to the great creator source, back to the universe. We are the altars. Our life is a gift. How do we show up in those gifts? I think sometimes too, on a deeper level, we know that we have these gifts inside, but we don't know how to package them. Because it's important to us that when we deliver and offer the gift, that it's packaged in a way that the person can receive it. And it's also safe enough to offer those gifts where it's going to be received. It's important for our gifts to be received. And then that idea brings us back to, and I have to practice receiving. What are the gifts of life that I can receive today? The gift of time, the gift of beauty, the gift of experiencing whatever. I've already rehashed all of that, so you know what I'm getting at. But I have to be good at receiving, because I am being gifted life every single day. And how often am I receiving life, really? I have to be good at receiving. And then when I offer love, time, services, art, when you are offering back your gifts, it's able to be reciprocal. There's a sacred reciprocity in the offering, the gifting, and the receiving. And I think sometimes It's not that we're afraid of our gifts, but we're afraid of how they'll be received. And what if the bridge out of that fear is the practice of being able to receive and then having the courage to step deep into your own gifts and then just do the thing. Do the thing. What is it that you want to do today? It's questions of, how am I able to receive life fully? What can I really bring into every cell of my being? What is a distraction? What's distracting me from really living a really beautiful life? And home play is, if you're really good on grateful for, what if you changed grateful to be able to see these gifts, the gifts of time, the gifts of being able to see a butterfly dance, which I'm doing right now over my grass. I was going to say weeds because it is weeds. The gift of being able to pull my weeds later. But what are these gifts? I think sometimes, and then here's my other rant. I think sometimes I'm grateful for. It's kind of like saying I love you with no action. But I think being able to witness gifts requires action because it requires you to be able to receive. And then it sparks reciprocity. Then it sparks an offering. Food for thought. Thanks for being here.